Red wine and grape juice may come from the same fruit, but they're not playing the same game when it comes to polyphenol power and DNA protection. One is a fermented, alcohol-containing elixir praised by Mediterranean centenarians. The other is a wholesome-looking, sugar-rich beverage found in lunchboxes and wellness aisles alike. But underneath their stylistic differences lies a serious biochemical debate. Which one is better for your genome? To answer that, we have to zoom in on what both beverages offer at the molecular level. Polyphenol, particularly resveratrol, quercetin, catechins, and anthocyanins, compounds known to scavenge free radicals, support mitochondrial function, and activate the body's own DNA repair machinery. These molecules are essentially your genome's tiny cheerleaders, mopping up oxidative stress and flipping switches on genes involved in repair, cell survival, and inflammation regulation. Now here's the twist. Red wine generally contains a higher concentration and greater variety of bioavailable polyphenol than grape juice, despite being made from the same grapes.
Why?
Because the fermentation process in red wine pulls more polyphenol, especially resveratrol and proanthocyanidins, from the skins and seeds of the grape. These are the parts that are richest in antioxidants, and they're often discarded or under-extracted in commercial grape juice production. Fermentation also changes the chemical form of many polyphenol, making them more lipophilic, which can enhance their absorption into cells. This means that even though both beverages might contain similar classes of polyphenol, those in red wine are more likely to cross the intestinal barrier, survive first-pass metabolism, and reach target tissues like the liver, brain, and bone marrow, where DNA repair matters most. Red wine has been shown in various studies to upregulate SIRT1, OGG1, and ATM, enzymes and proteins central to DNA damage sensing and repair. These are not just theoretical benefits. In both animal and human models, moderate red wine consumption has been linked to reductions in DNA strand breaks, protection against radiation-induced damage, and enhanced activity of base excision repair pathways. This makes it potentially valuable in combating age-related genomic instability and oxidative damage. Now, grape juice isn't without merit. It still contains anthocyanins and flavonols, particularly in purple or dark red varieties. These compounds can also quench reactive oxygen species and have been shown to reduce DNA damage in cultured cells. But here's the drawback. Grape juice often contains much more sugar and less fiber than whole grapes or wine, which can counteract some of its benefits. High sugar intake spikes insulin and inflammation, which ironically increases DNA damage, kind of like running an antivirus while simultaneously downloading malware. Plus, the resveratrol content in grape juice is much lower, often up to 20 times less than in a glass of red wine. That matters, because resveratrol is one of the few polyphenol that crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly interacts with sirtuins, a family of longevity genes that help regulate DNA repair, mitochondrial function, and cellular aging. Without this activation, the DNA protective benefits of grape juice may remain more superficial. Think antioxidant mop-up crew rather than a full repair and rebuild team. But of course, red wine comes with its own caveat: alcohol. While low to moderate consumption has been linked to cardiovascular and genomic benefits, high intake reverses those gains rapidly. Excess alcohol promotes oxidative stress, increases DNA adduct formation, and overwhelms liver detox pathways, turning your so-called polyphenol tonic into a genomic wrecking ball. So the keyword here is moderation, roughly 1 glass, 5 ounces, per day for women and 2 for men, if you're going the red wine route. Interestingly, some studies are now looking at dealcoholized red wine as a happy middle ground. It contains nearly the same polyphenol profile, without the potential downsides of ethanol. It may not have the same cultural charm, but in a test tube, and increasingly in vivo, it appears just as effective at reducing DNA strand breaks and supporting antioxidant gene expression. So, who wins the DNA protection showdown? If you're looking strictly at polyphenol density, bioavailability, and activation of DNA repair enzymes, red wine edges out grape juice, especially in its ability to activate SIRT1 and support cellular resilience. But if you're sensitive to alcohol, avoiding it for medical or personal reasons, or already consuming plenty of polyphenol from other sources, a high-quality, low-sugar Concord grape juice still offers solid DNA defense, just with a bit more sugar baggage and a little less genetic firepower. In the end, your best bet may be strategic. Enjoy red wine in moderation. ideally with meals and in the context of a polyphenol-rich diet. If alcohol's not on the table, choose grape juice that's as close to nature as possible, organic, unsweetened, and preferably made from the entire grape, skin and all. Either way, your DNA won't be mad. It just prefers you skip the soda.